to the clips where the fun never ends. Oh, we'll dive into topics, make new best friends. So grab a seat, get ready to go on the Clips Podcast Show. Let's enjoy the flow. We'll discuss the latest trends and news, laugh and debate, leave your feels. Tim the man is your host. We'll keep the energy high, putting tunes and stories that will touch the sky.
Hey, how y'all doing out there in the internet land? We got a good one for y'all tonight. What do you want to see what y'all think about this? Think about this. This is a pretty good one. My man T.I. and Kirk Franklin and all these guys sat out. But, whatever, I'm going to let you watch it. But I want to see what you think about this. Give me a second here. Yep. Okay. Wait to see that. All right. Let's go here. Let's get it going. We got a hot one. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share so other people know and watch and pay attention. All right. With no further ado, let's get this. Hold on, give me a second here. Let's get this going.
All right, y'all. So it seems like everybody talking about this. I don't know why. What y'all tell me? Is this really this? Is this crazy? The way that he answered this question? I want to know because I low key agree with them. Now, Kirk Franklin, he said, "How has your local church impacted you, for better or for worse?" That's the question. Now, T.I., he said something very interesting. I want to play what he said, but first, I want to play the moment right before that happened because Jermaine Dupri, he asked Kirk Franklin a very interesting question. Jermaine Dupri pretty much said like, "Hey, bro, you got on a $5,000 suit right now. How do you deal with people judging you given the position that you're in?" And I thought what Kirk said was very interesting. So let's play that and then we'll play the T.I. clip. All right, let's go.
You be dancing now. You get around this, man.
You know, I get judged.
I mean, you got a whole Louis Vuitton suit on right now. I mean, you just. I mean, what is it? What is the motion of you being judged? What is that? I mean, does that play into your? You saying?
Jesus was judged by the church as well.
We all judged.
You know what I'm saying? Great question, and it's been painful. And at the same time, I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of. I'm not afraid of anyone wanting to make sure that my intents are genuine. And so that doesn't scare me. I welcome it because I may not always be getting it right. That doesn't, just because I say that I rock with God, don't mean I am God. And so I'm going to fail. I'm going to mess up. I'm not going to get it all right. So I welcome when people have a critique. And it's because what it does, it causes me to go back, pray, study, see if there's something I need to change, something I need to grow from, because I want to be the best example for the Lord that I can be. Not perfect, but I really want to be that. I think that what the hardest thing for me is that when people's judgment, when it turns into their definitive of who I am, that's what's hard for me, is that they may not understand or agree with my motives or my execution, not motives, but my execution of what I do, but it does not mean that my motives are not pure. And I think that that's where I war with. And so, but yeah.
I thought that was a good answer. Hey, say what you want to say about it in the comments. I'm on the side of, hey, Kirk, that was a good answer. That was a good answer. But I'm sure some of y'all going to disagree with me in the comments. It is what it is. I'm here for it. I want to know what you think, but I thought it was a good answer. Now let's get into what T.I. said.
It's not always easy, I've never been like a church person.
You know what I'm saying? I
Talk
grew
to
up in a house with a strong, praying, tambourine bumping grandmama. You know what I'm saying? My auntie, strong, very, very strong in prayer. So I know how to pray and I know the word. You know what I'm saying? I know God is real and I've seen the presence in the hand that he's had in my life personally. Don't nobody ain't got to tell me that. But I just ain't never felt the connection with church.
Why?
Man, I don't know. It just ain't. To be honest with you, I don't think it's real. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's a business just like anything else, and it's a show just like anything else. You know what I mean?
What y'all think about that? T.I. said he don't even think it's real. I don't think he don't think that church is not the building, it's the people. He's talking about what the pastors are projected and what they're giving to the people. He don't think it's real because he himself is a businessman. So a businessman can recognize game. So he looking at these pastors versus him being a multimillionaire. He can see they shoveling the same papers, just getting it a different way. But let's finish hearing what he got to say.
Just like you go to Broadway, you see a show. I feel like it's just like somebody standing up and public speaking. Just like you get like a TED talk. And a lot of times they be putting a lot of cap on it. And when I say cap, I'm saying cap in the action. The word is the word, but sometimes they try and twist the word, make the word mean something, that will be personally benefiting to them, and not necessarily what the word mean, as its purpose. And that to me, because if you think about it, the only time you read the word, anybody know the word, and you study the life of Jesus Christ, the only time you really saw Jesus Christ lose his temper was in the church. He went to the church to see what was going on.
Wow, how ironic that Christ lose his temper in the church. Why would he do that? Because what they were teaching, preaching, and doing, in his temple was defiled. That's why he was upset. But let's keep going.
On in the church, seeing how the church people were handling the word of God and what they were doing to manipulate it, to personally benefit, from the word of God. That's when Jesus got mad, flip the table.
that's when he flipped the table.
Yeah, flip the table. You know what I'm saying? And he had Jesus out here like he don't love hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But that's why. Cause I connect with the word, like the true word, the spirit. I don't need no broker. I don't need no middleman. I don't need nobody to get my word. I done heard a preacher. I've been in church before, and the preacher say, "Come on, y'all, put it to the collection plate. Dig deeper. Get your prayers past the ceiling." I say, "Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all telling me I got to pay this joker? You know what I'm saying? For my God to hear my prayer, man, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
that's
it's
unfortunate.
like that.
Those moments are unfortunate.
Okay, hold on. Let me pause right there.
Now let me pause you. That's why most men are not going to the church. Like I said earlier, game can recognize game. So he already saying, why do I have to pay you just to hear God, to know what's going on? All this false doctrine. But I want to hear what this brother got to say.
Because I think what he's saying is true. I do. And I don't know if you followed T.I. I don't know if you least, because I reacted to a clip from T.I., his old podcast, Expeditiously. There was a clip from like 6 years ago where T.I. was talking about God, talking about Jesus, talking about Christians. I encourage you to go look up that clip and then compare it to how he's speaking right now, because it doesn't sound like he's putting this on God. It sounds like he's simply recognizing what is true, which is a lot of these churches are corrupted. A lot of these churches are after the wrong things. A lot of these churches are so overly corporate to the point of, I don't even know if the spirit is even in that place anymore, because y'all are so overly corporate. And y'all, it's just like, and you can't, this is not an indictment on every single church, because there are some very good biblical churches that are after God's heart, and they are very good representatives of just that. But on the other side of it, there are some churches where it's like, bro, y'all making us look bad, dog. Y'all acting crazy. Y'all doing some wild stuff. On top, so predictable. And I time to pray, right? But then he would come back and get into community, and everything that he received in prayer, he would pour out and give back to the community. It wasn't like he was just this lone wolf who just only practiced his faith and practiced his walk on his own. Like, no, he.
I don't expect perfection from. I done sold crack to preachers. I done sold dope to preachers. I done had drinks with preachers. I done gambled with preachers. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean they did. I've learned the word also in my exchange. You know what I'm saying?
But well, you know, if we have more time, if I can get some more water with us.
You dig what I'm saying?
Thank you. And you know, just like I mean, there are good churches.
Yeah.
I think listen to good churches.
I mean, they are, and I'm not, and I don't put that. I don't put that on.
Hold up, let's go back and hear this again. Y'all might have missed this, but listen to this. T.I. is telling you. Like I said, game recognized game, so he tells you, I rub shoulders with these guys. After
You got to fast for yourself and seek God for yourself, but don't make that a permanent season in your life. Come back.
I mean, they are, and I'm not, and I don't put that. I don't put that on the entire. Because
Exactly.
I think for the most part, there are people who are strong, church going,
Yes.
God fearing people that go to church with the intention of serving and praising
Yes.
God.
Yes.
However, you know, I think there's some leadership. There's enough leadership. There's enough people in enough positions that understand that there is ways to manipulate this word to personally benefit.
Man, thank you for sharing that with us.
You
man.
dig what I'm saying?
Thank you. And you know, just like
he talking about thank you for sharing that with. He's one of the main ones that's benefiting from not telling the truth or bringing out the truth. So I mean, once again, like he said, they keep saying there's some good churches and there's some bad churches. How do you tell the difference? Most people can't tell the difference. That's because they themselves don't even know the word of God. So they can't even distinguish if they getting the true word of God or not. But yeah, we ain't gonna take it there. But we'll go ahead and continue to listen to T.I.
I mean, there are good churches.
Yeah.
I think listen to good churches, bro.
But I mean, like I said before, I look at preachers. Preachers are human beings. I don't expect perfection from. I done sold crack to preachers. I done sold dope to preachers. I done had drinks with preachers. I done gambled with preachers. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean they did. I've learned the word also in my exchange. You know what I'm saying?
But well, you know, if we have more time, if I can get some more water, it's because I want to ask one quick question, but I'm gonna need a little water to ask this one. I'm gonna ask y'all more. Just yeah.
You sold what to who? You sold what to who? Hey, yo. I get what T.I. is saying, but like I said, I don't think it's bad to have systems. I don't think it's bad to have a routine. But when you become so dependent on those systems and so dependent on those routines that you've established, I feel like at a certain point, it does start to have this sense of being inauthentic.
See what he's saying, that in order for you to even to be, like I said earlier, to be able to even distinguish between what's real and not real, what's the true church and not, you have to be taught to be able to see. Oh, I gotta have the spirit on me. These churches can't give you that because they themselves don't even know. So they don't even have the spirit in them. So like he said, he didn't did this, was Pastor so dope, did this and that. Listen to me. Don't know how to tell you this, but that's not it. That's not where God is. That's why it's going to be more tables turned over. But let's finish.
It does have this corporate vibe. It does. And I can't be the only one that thinks that. What's the solution for that? I have no idea. But I don't really know if there is a solution, because
there is a solution. See, he's saying himself, he don't know the solution there is, and he don't even believe there is a solution. But it's right in the Bible. Deuteronomy 28, started 28:1 through 15 through 68. There's your answer. That's one answer right there. We'll just start with that. You can use that. It give you the reason why and where you're gonna be. There's your answer. That's what they're not teaching. But I'm even let him finish.
These are businesses. These are very large businesses. They bring in a lot of money. They have very high expenses, payroll, all that type of stuff that we just talked about. So you.
I don't mean to cut him off again, but that's why T.I. can identify, because he's a businessman, like I said earlier. So he can recognize game with these pastors, like I said, because they're shuffling the same papers. He's rubbing shoulders with them guys. They're in the same banks doing the same thing. It's not about God. It's about, I'll let y'all finish that.
So you have to have some sort of systems in place to make sure that you are accomplishing what you need to accomplish on a bi-weekly basis, on a monthly, annual basis. I get it. But it does feel inauthentic at times. I'm not gonna lie. What do you think? Get in my comments, like this video. I'm out, y'all.
Well, there you have it. Once again, proof is in the pudding. You got to read for yourself. Well, you need to really be under somebody who can teach you. I was going to say read for yourself. That's after you get truly taught. But yeah, you can see this thing is starting to narrow itself down as far as people starting to wake up to the truth and get to the point where they're just not accepting anything. That was a pretty good discussion. I wish I was there. I could have helped the brothers out a little bit more because they are my brothers and sisters, and they could have used a little bit more help to get clarity on the answers that they did not have. Kirk Franklin can't give it to him. He don't know nothing. No, he don't know nothing. Trust me, he don't know. But I did want to share that with y'all tonight on Clips Podcast Show. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. This thing is getting sadder and sadder weekly. Y'all make sure y'all tune in next week. I have some more exciting stuff for y'all. Some more stuff to continue to educate y'all, to wake y'all up so that y'all too know what to do. With that, peace. I'm out.